Hi, it's Mo. Welcome back to the property vlog. Before we jump into this week's video, a quick reminder to please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content. We're now producing videos weekly, so we want to make sure as many people as possible can see them. In this week's video, we head down to Bramdean in Exeter for a site update with our KHP Development Manager, Tom Fenton, who is joined by Kurt and Mac from SML. There's been a huge amount of progress in the last 4 weeks since the last video, so over to them to give us an update.
You on camera? Sorry, mate. All right.
Full removal of the asbestos.
Hello, it's Tom Fenton here from KHP at Bramdean in Exeter, and I'm going to show you what's happened in the last month since the last video that we took.
There's been a great deal of scaffolding that's gone up to the structure of the music house, which is now complete. And the scaffolders are halfway through the east elevation on the schoolhouse. The kicker lift and the first lift is in on house 35, ready for the brickies to build superstructure up to first floor height. So yeah, that's where we're really at. Bricklayers are pushing on in the 2 plots. Slowly but surely we're pushing on in the schoolhouse first fix steel work in joist installation, which is slower than what we anticipated. So yeah, that's been a bit slower than we liked. However, we're confident we'll claw back any lost time on the second fix of the fit out of the apartments. All the steel frame now is into the music house. Posi joists are installed, underfloor heating is installed, floorboards have been installed as we speak now. Loads of the project over the past few weeks. I would mention there's been a lot of RFIs, requests for information on the project due to unforeseen, specifically on the schoolhouse. With the age of the building, the complexity of the site, it's just a tricky one. There's also been a lot of repair schedules that we've been asked to price for, which include mortar repair work, timber lintel replacement works, both from the architect and the structural engineer. The general site has been a bit of a mud bath. The forecast we've had the past few weeks has been dreadful, although we did have a fortunate dry February, which helped. So we're just trying to keep on top of the mud coming out of the site when we get muckaways coming in, just with guys doing wheel washes, keep on top of the roads. Once the last muckaway has gone away with, we'll have some road sweeps in here. We got the ground workers in Saturday morning just to do a bit more prep work to the actual main thoroughway through on the site. Richard's going to be starting the groundworks next week, so we're going to be closing off the main entrance, opening up the second entrance to the house of 35. So we've got to do a bit more prep down there, stone out, Saturday morning, ready for the vehicles to come in and come up through. So that's that really.
Right, I'm stood here in number 39, the detached Muse property at the rear of site. And as you can see behind me, the block work is roughly up to my head height. So it's great to see that we've come out of the ground, we're doing the superstructure, and it won't be long until we are at first floor level, putting the joists in. So these are the steel columns which are going to structurally upgrade the party wall. You can see a couple of them have already been put in behind already. That's just due to the height of that boundary wall behind. Got the first floor joists going in to the number 35 detached house at the front. Lots of contractors on site. Block work flying up. So you've got the steel work going in to the rear of number 35. Down here the living space, which will look nice when it's got lights on. And this area behind is the rear garden. While I'm here, you can see the music house scaffold that's gone up in preparation for all the openings in the render. So we're inside now. You can see what has been done. So they have put the posi joists into the first floor level, and they've also started the underfloor heating. So throughout here on site, we have got underfloor heating in every single unit, which is a huge selling point. See some of the underside of the underfloor heating to the floor above. And even more exciting, you can see the steel staircase which has gone in. So let's have a wander upstairs. So these trays will have in situ concrete installed, and then carpet over the top. There you go, you can see the top of the posi joist now, and you can see the rest of the space here. And this here is the lift shaft. You can see here the build up, you can see the tray for the underfloor heating. the pipe that goes inside it, and then this stuff is some sort of acoustic roll that goes on top of the posi joist that sits underneath the T&G board, sound purposes. You can also see here the openings that are being formed for the windows. So now we'll head over to the schoolhouse. Right, so we're inside the schoolhouse. You can see the upper ground floor joists and deck going in, all new joists. A mixture of some of the old to try and retain as much as possible. It's not always possible. You can see here, all new joists in here. And this space on the left is the new extension to the back of the schoolhouse. The old frames coming out because there's all new windows going in here. And all the walls have now defined what is required to repair some of this brickwork in order to bring it back up to standard. And here you can see the extension on this floor. Nice opening made, make a lovely addition to these flats in the middle.
So we've been on structural, steel works, etc., and raising the upper ground floor joists to allow more headroom for the basement. We started with a steel install, and then we've had all the joists installed, and we got temporary boarding throughout to allow us to work on the first floor and top floor. We started removing the west elevation to allow us to go into the extension, and started some remedial work on the external walls, pointing, etc. We've had some challenges along the way, but nothing we haven't overcome. Everything's straightforward, as this is what we do normally on a day-to-day basis. We've got a sump to install in here. This is slightly full of water due to external drain overfilling, which we've had unblocked now. But we have to shutter the sides in concrete to allow for the sump. Timberwise, who's installing the sump, will do all their tanking work.
We've got in this building, this wall here that you see is one of the gables, one of the two gables. And we're fully tanking both of the gables, and they've got perimeter drainage channels. And those perimeter drainage channels require a sump pump in order to pump any excess water away from the building. So there's two of these, and it just means that this lower ground floor is a nice habitable space.
This brick wall was a single brick wall, so we knocked it down to a reasonable level. 100mm block on the face, all the way up to 1 metre high, and then we switched to the belly to install further up to give it more structural stability.
As you can see above already, the joists have been raised up, but in order to do that you've got to lift all the structure and upgrade all of the structure beneath that. So essentially you've got to do that all the way through up to the top floor.
We knocked down the west elevation for this building to allow us access into the new extension so the apartments can go on through. The lads now are just doing the final clean-up so we can drop the last elevation.
So still down here in the lower ground floor of the school, what you can see here is the ceiling to where the old asbestos was.
We contacted Shield. Shield come in, fully protected all the external walls, the floor, the top of the joist, and they had their shower and changing room set up outside with extraction running out. They'd done a full removal of the asbestos and provided us with a certificate of an air test. After they had done that, we had removed the joist, the old joist, raised the new ones up and catching a new upper ground floor level.
Right, I'm leaving site now, so thanks Kurt and Mac and the rest of SML for being involved in this video. And yeah, we'll catch up here the next time in a few weeks' time.
So a massive thanks to Tom, Kurt and Mac for that update. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and share the video with anyone you think might like it. And get in touch if you'd like to learn more about investing in projects like this with KHP. Thanks for watching. See you next week.